Good morning, another day, another blessing, and it's kind of overcast today. I've just spent the last 3 minutes trying to get this fluffy thing. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know. Wind protector, windbreaker. I don't know. I've just spent the last 3 minutes trying to get it back on the mic. All the while, my turkey mince. That's what I'm working with at the moment. Just cooking up some turkey mince with some veg, doing my meal prep. My turkey mince has been on the stove cooking away, so hopefully I haven't overcooked it at this stage. But I woke up this morning and uh, I lay in bed for a little bit. I was basically just kind of you should you know what you shouldn't do? You really shouldn't look at your phone the first thing in the morning. Like within myself, I always know I shouldn't do it. I should not look at my phone, stay away from the phone. Uh, just allow myself like at least, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes just to wake up, get some light in my eyes. Like I know the right things to do when I wake up in the morning. Get some natural daylight. Uh, Try your best not to look at any technological devices. Maybe even do a bit of journaling, a little bit of meditation. In an ideal world, that is exactly how I'd wake up in the morning. That's exactly what I would do. What I did do instead was I woke up and immediately looked at my phone, looked at my text messages, went onto Instagram, and I could feel it. I could feel that within me there was a degree of, um, comparison, me comparing myself, me, because especially when I haven't gigged for a couple of days. So I haven't actually had a gig um, for a couple of days. And in truth, it's not because I couldn't, I kind of left a couple of days open to rest, recalibrate. So I could have had a gig, but I don't have a gig. And when I'm not gigging, I think this probably happens to most comedians or most performers. If you're not gigging, then you feel like you're moving backwards. If you're not gigging, you feel like everyone else is out there and they are making progress and they are making headway and they are making opportunities and making it happen. Whereas you start to feel as though you're not. And I think because I'm not, sometimes I wonder, like, exactly where am I in the comedy landscape? And I think it's one of those things that, I don't know, like, at this stage of my development, you just can't know for sure. You know that some people know you, a lot of people don't. Some people rate you. You don't know if some people don't. And all of these things, listen, as you hear me talk about them, a more secure person within themselves might say, who cares? Who cares about that stuff? You just do you. Do you, bro. Don't spend any time worrying about whether people care or whether people rate you or whether people like you or whether people think that you're a decent comedian. Just just concentrate on your thing. And I tell myself that in my own head, but that doesn't mean that those same thoughts um, won't come in from time to time. And I think the best thing to do when those thoughts come in, especially something that I've learned from meditation, is let the thought come in, acknowledge the thought, and then let it go. So that's what I'm working on doing. I let the thoughts come in, I acknowledge that they're there, and then I let them go, and then I carry on with my journey. And I try my very best to do that as consistently as I can. So, what I'm doing at the moment is almost like a weekly ritual. This is my weekly meal prep. From these ingredients, I can make 8 meals, 8 portions of dinner. So I do one with a turkey base, and then I have mushrooms, mixed peppers, and kale that I add to it, and that's gives me 4 meals. And then I do the second one either with chicken or beef as a base for the meat, for the protein, and then the same veg. And I've been making this for probably nearly a year now. Um, and sometimes I ask myself, okay, so like sometimes I can get a bit tired or maybe a little bit bored of repeating the same thing over and over. So Instagram is really good for that, because on Instagram they have really cool food options and meal options that are really good in calories, like low in calories, and also really good with protein levels, and the macros are on point. And every now and then I'll find a recipe from Instagram and I'll cook that as like a little one off. But this is my standard meal that I make on a regular basis. All of these ingredients come up to about 22 pounds. So for me, being on uh, quite a budget at the moment and being more mindful of my spend, 22 pounds and getting 8 nutritious meals for that. So I'm not sure what happened, but my microphone cut out. But here's a video of my food. There's some of the ingredients: my kale, my mushrooms, peppers. And this is basically what it looks like when the meal prep's all done. 8 meals, 4 with beef, 4 with turkey, and mixed veg, and jobs are good. All right, made it to the gym. Not at my home gym today. Starting off with 2 sets of lat pull downs. It's a pull day today, so 2 sets here, and then moving on to some cable rows. Probably come down a bit lower. And I came into the gym today, I overheard a conversation. I feel like that's just what I generally do. I just overhear conversations. And it's the age-old debate that guys have, and the age-old quandary that guys have between looks and personality. So these two guys were going, yeah, I'm just trying to find a girl with a good personality. Like, not really chase the looks too much. But I feel like no matter what generation, it's probably been the same thing. Like, do you chase the aesthetics or do you chase the substance? And it's not to say that you can't find both, you can. But, guys are led by what they see. Not necessarily what they feel, but what they see. But really, you want someone in your life who's going to hold you down, And I think that the older you get is the more you realize that's what really matters. Not so much like having as they say out there, a bad bitch. It's not that. It's more a case of, do you have someone who's really going to be there for you, when the going gets rough. And if you can find someone who's got the aesthetics as well as the personality and the temperament to do that, then that's really what matters the most, Like, it reminds me, like when my dad died, my girl was the first person I spoke to, and the first person I called and told the news. And I'll never forget how supportive she was towards me. And just knowing that she would have dropped everything at that moment to be there for me meant everything, you know. She's a beautiful woman inside and out. So I'm 2 exercises into this workout. I've done some lateral pull downs and some close grip lat pull downs. And now I'm going to go on to some single arm rows on the cable machine. I would have wanted to go on to some wide grip rows, but the machine's being used upstairs. So the one thing I never like to do is wait around for a machine. I just feel like it's wasted time, you know. So I'll just get to it, do another exercise, and come back to it later, you know. And if by chance it gets to the end of my workout and the machine's still not available, then what I often do is I'll just put it on my list of things to do the next time I get to the gym and just try and knock it off the list first. But got 3 sets here, and then we'll move on to I think we've got some bent over rows to do. But anyway, let's deal with where we are at the moment. And this is where we are. We are on to T-bar rows. The last time I did this was a little while back, to be fair. And I looked at the weights that I was doing on the last time I did this. And it was 50 kilos, 55, and then 60. And that was not including the bar. So we'll see where the strength levels are up to with this. Well, the 3 sets of 10, and I'll know where I'm at after the first 10, whether or not to stick around here with the 50 or to go up in weight. But yeah, you know, I gotta say, honestly, the lighting in this gym is wicked. Like, the lighting in here is much better than the lighting in my home gym. So strictly for aesthetic purposes and video recording purposes, I'm much preferring it in here. All right, here we go. Let's go. I think that's manageable. That felt pretty good, to be fair. So I've been sticking another 5 and then another 10 on there. Will be doable. I'm so conscious of my back with all of these exercises, because probably about 10 years ago now, I had a back injury, and man, when you've got a back injury, that really puts you out of it for a long time. And I had to do so much physio and stretching to get myself back to a good place. So I'm always so conscious of how my back is feeling and how my back is performing. And if at any moment I feel any sort of weakness or a twinge, I'm just like, just stop. You know, no one's trying to be a superhero out here, you know. All right. One more set with the T-bar row, but I decided I'm going to stick at 55. 55 plus the bar feels like my limit at the moment. And to be honest with you, if I go any heavier, there's not really much to prove. I don't know who I'm trying to prove anything to. So the key is to get the workout in, get out without any injuries, and then recuperate and be strong enough for the next one. Yeah, I've been growing up. I was always around fitness. And my mum, she did karate. My dad did karate and boxing. They both used to love running. My dad was always like preaching endurance as opposed to strength. So he was never really one for the gym and like weightlifting. And I followed in his footsteps for a long time because I used to do like a lot of HIIT workouts and running and stuff. But I think it's important to, like, your parents influence you a lot, right? That's just undeniable. But it's really important to figure out what you enjoy also. And that's the journey to becoming an individual. That's the journey to figuring out who you are. And for some of us, it takes a bit longer than others to actually figure that out. But I like a little bit of everything. But there is something about weightlifting that really does do it for me. And I can't lie, the aesthetic change that you see in your body, like, I like that too, you know? All right, I'm gonna bang out this last set, and then I'm gonna see if the machine is free upstairs to do my wide rows. And then I think it's just 2 other exercises after that, and then that's it, cardio, and that's it. Okay, last exercise, and then that is the end of our pull session. This would have been the second exercise that I would have done, but like I say, machine wasn't available, so we are here at the last exercise now. This, and then you know what it is, cardio afterwards, and then that is it. Let's go. Man, I'm breaking down these muscles today, boy. You know, second session of the week. Did legs yesterday, pull today, and then sometime between now and Friday, we'll get a push session in. But this is good, man. This is good. Because when I woke up this morning, like I said, I was in my head with a few things. I think it's very rare that I wake up in the morning without being in my head a little bit. Like I said, I started the day wrong by going online and doing the old social media thing. So this right here is a reset. It's a reset that I need. It's a reset to help me get my head back on straight. Focus on the here and now. Be grateful. And yeah, man. Just get fit in the process. Actually, I got an email while I was driving up here from a competition. There's a competition going on right now in collaboration with Dutch Barn Vodka called The Spirit of Comedy. And it's a competition run by, it's associated with Ricky Gervais and his brand of vodka called Dutch Barn. So the winner gets like 5 grand and gets to open for Ricky on tour. So I got an email saying that I've been accepted into the competition, and I'm gonna be. I've been given a place to perform, so it's good news, man. It's good news. You know, it's positive stuff. All right, 2 more sets, cardio, and then we'll call it.